What is going on, everybody? And I have yourselves a New York Giant roster update, as the Giants made some procedural moves today to update their roster, including placing one player on injured reserve ending the season, calling up and signing one player from the practice squad to the active roster, and the New York Giants signing a couple of players to the practice squad going forward. So a couple of procedural moves for the New York Giants this Wednesday as they continue to try to upgrade and retool and recalibrate their roster as they head into the rest of this week and Sunday's game against the Chicago Bears. Now, first off, the New York Giants ended up placing wide receiver Sterling Shepard on the injury reserve because he tore his ACL on this past Monday night's game against the Cowboys on the last play of the game when he had a non-contact injury on the last play. So Sterling Shepard's season is pretty much over. He's done for the season. And unfortunately, it looks like his New York Giants career might be over too, as Shepard is scheduled to be a free agent after this year, after the New York Giants reworked his contract, and he has a chance to have that clause where he can be a free agent after the season. So it might be the end for the longest tenured New York Giant with the team. We'll have to see what's going to happen. Shepard's got a very, very long rehab to go with him after tearing his left ACL in his left leg on Monday. Wish the best for Sterling Shepard, heart and soul of this New York Giants football team. Hopefully he can get himself have himself a very, very strong rehabilitation this offseason and come back in 2023 much stronger. And if he wants to continue playing football, whether it is with the New York Giants or with another organization, obviously, wish the best for Sterling Shepard, the heart and soul of this New York Giants team, and hopefully he can get himself 100% right. So I just want to put that out there. Best wishes to Sterling Shepard, and thank you very much everything that you've given us for the past 7+ years with the New York Giants and how beloved you are with the organization. So best wishes to you, Shep. Now, in terms of some of the other transitional moves that the New York Giants have made today, the Giants, of course, they're dealing with some injury issues at the cornerback spot, as obviously Cordell Flott is now popped up on the injury report with a calf injury, and Nick McLeod is still banged up with a hamstring injury. They did not practice today, as well as Justin Lane and Aaron Robinson. They were limited today, not sure about their injury status going into the game this Sunday. So in turn, the New York Giants ended up signing cornerback Fabian Moreau to the 53-man roster off the practice squad. So Fabian Moreau is now part of the 53-man roster. This could be an indication that Cordell Flott is looking at an extended absence with the New York Giants going forward. So Fabian Moreau is now part of the active roster going forward. And in turn, the New York Giants have added defensive back, aka corner, Olajar Griffin, who was pretty much with the New York Giants back in training camp and the preseason, but the Giants signed him this past August to bring some cornerback depth, but he was part of the roster cuts at the end of August/early September, and he was pretty much floating around on the free agent scene from then, and the New York Giants ended up signing him back to the practice squad. So Olajar Griffin is back with the New York Giants team going forward. So that's at least some cornerback depth for this team, and a familiar face who played with the Buffalo Bills last year. So he's signed to the 50-man. He's signed to the practice squad right now going forward. As well as the New York Giants signed Makai Polk, who was on the practice squad for the Baltimore Ravens this past offseason. The Mississippi State 6'3", 197-pound wide receiver is an undrafted free agent, 21 years old. He hasn't have any stats right now, but he's a guy that's going to be adding some wide receiver depth to this team. And in fact, if the New York Giants need to bring up somebody from the wide receiver room on the practice squad, Makai Polk could be a player that the New York Giants look to in potentially adding some more depth to this roster, as currently the Giants have 4 receivers that right now are healthy going into this game Sunday, and a couple of guys that we're not sure about their injury designations going into the game on Sunday. As right now, it's Kenny Golladay, Darius Slayton, Richie James, and David Sills as the only active, healthy wide receivers on the active roster, coupled with Kadarius Toney and Wan'Dale Robinson, who right now are both banged up and are probably questionable at best to play in this game against the Bears on Sunday. So the Giants are trying to add some more depth to that wide receiver room going into the on the practice squad, as well as possibly somebody they could elevate going into this game, depending on what the injury status is with Toney and Robinson against the Bears this Sunday. So the New York Giants are pretty much just trying to make any type of procedural moves right now, especially with how banged up they are at the wide receiver position and the cornerback position. So those are some of the procedural moves for the New York Giants that they've done today. The Giants have placed Sterling Shepard on injured reserve. His season is over due to the ACL tear. The Giants have signed cornerback Fabian Moreau to the active roster. He is now part of the 53-man roster going forward. And the Giants have signed Olajar Griffin and Makai Polk to the practice squad. Defensive back Olajar Griffin, part of the Bills team last year, was part of training camp with the Giants, got cut during the 53-man cutdown days. He's now back with the team on the practice squad. Makai Polk spent pretty much this time with the Baltimore Ravens on their practice squad. Now the Giants signed him to their practice squad, so he's going to bring some wide receiver depth to the team. So that's just the New York Giants roster moves that they have made today in order to try to get some more depth at the cornerback and wide receiver position. So if you guys like this video, please hit the like button below. Sub up if you haven't already to NYG Jeffy T85 for more breaking news, injury, and roster updates, as well as chatter surrounding the New York Football Giants. Turn on the bell for notifications on the next video or short dropping on the channel surrounding the New York Giants. And let me know in the comment section what you think about these procedural roster moves that have happened with the Giants today, with Shepard being placed on injured reserve, ending his season, Fabian Moreau being signed to the active roster, and the Giants bringing back Olajar Griffin to their practice squad, as well as signing Makai Polk to their practice squad. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their Hump Day Wednesday. Take it easy, and let's go New York Football Giants. As always, Giants fans, together blue, everyone.